Hello, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. So my name is Laura Winenkowski, and I'm an international life and relationship coach. And now I can also say that I'm an Amazon bestseller. I'm a best-selling author now, which is very exciting. And I'm still digesting this because it just happened on Friday. So it happened 3 days ago. 3 days ago. So I'm part of a book which is called Quiet and Badass: Visionary Women Embracing Their Uniqueness to Create Epic Impact. So this presentation, I'm going to talk about my journey to become a published author and a best-selling author as well. So it's been quite a journey, and lots of pieces had to come together. Lots of synchronicities had to happen for this to come about. So I hope that my journey inspires you and motivates you to go after your dreams, because you never know what's possible, right? So so dream big. Give yourself permission to dream big, because I would have never thought in a million years that I would be a published author and a best-selling author on the same day. So if that can happen with me, very big things can happen to everybody and anybody. So this is my journey. I hope you enjoy it and get inspired by it. All right, so the book was released on Friday, the 23rd of September, and it became a bestseller, an international Amazon bestseller in Australia, Canada, and the USA, in the category of women in business. I mean, this was huge, and this is something that none of us none of us were expecting, especially when the first country where we became number one was in Australia. And we had two women. There's 18 women in total in this book, and two of them are in Australia. So we were like, wow, what did these Australian women do? How many people do they know, right? That we're number one in Australia. So then it started in Australia. Then it went to Canada. We don't have None of the authors are from Canada. No, sorry, one. One is in Canada. One is in Canada. So we're like, wow, what did that one person do in Canada? And then most of the authors are in USA. And then we got to the top in the US, and getting to the top in the US is not easy. I mean, the US is a huge market. And to see our book and our names next to huge names like Brene Brown and all these authors, that have been around for such a long time, and all these authors that we follow, was just was just amazing. And we're still digesting it, that we're in the same company with such big names, such big visionaries. So yeah, and here's the cover of the book. I yeah, like the publisher is, her name is Jenny. There's actually two Jennifers involved in this book. The publisher is Jennifer, and then there's another Jennifer as well, who actually wrote a book with Jack Canfield, who's one of my favorite life coaches. And I actually met him 14 years ago. I met him 14 years ago in Dublin. And when I met him, I told him that I had this big vision and dream. I told him that I wanted to be a coach like him. I wanted to have clients all over the world and help and inspire people all over the world. And 14 years later, I'm doing that. And now I'm in a book with a woman who wrote a book with him, and she interviewed me last week for her show. So it's amazing, how I met Jack Canfield 14 years ago, and now 14 years later, like, yeah, the woman that wrote a book with him just interviewed me, and I'm in a book with her. So these are part of the synchronicities, that are involved with this book. And the title, Quiet and Badass. Okay, anybody that knows me knows that I'm not quiet, right? And I'm not pretending to be quiet to be in this book. But the main point of this book was that the publisher, she wanted to publish a book of women and coaches that are different, right? Different kinds of coaches, and she wanted to put together inspirational stories, right? Inspirational stories of having gone through huge challenges and overcome like huge obstacles and gotten stronger in the process. So then that's why, quiet and badass. I mean, you can be either, a quiet introverted coach or an extroverted coach, because there's a combination of introverted and extroverted, coaches and women in this book. But no matter if you're introverted or extroverted, I mean, you can still be a badass, right? And you can be quiet and also be a badass. And, you know, the, the combination of being quiet and a badass is something that most people wouldn't associate together, right? But then one of the really important, parts of this book is the visionary women embracing their uniqueness to create epic impact. I mean, that's one thing that we all have in common, whether we're quiet or not so quiet. We're all visionary women who embraced our uniqueness to create epic impact in different ways. So that's and I love the cover. I love the colors on it, and the way that it's like you see a woman with a bun, and then she has glasses, and actually there's stars in those glasses, and those glasses that she's wearing. So I really like the visual of of the book and the colors. So, okay, so going back, so everything started back in April 2022 with an email from Brains Magazine, which was literally life-changing. So Brains Magazine, it's actually a Swedish magazine. It's a Swedish company, and I have this thing in my life where Swedish companies have changed my life completely in three times in my life, right? Because it was a Swedish company that sent my family to Venezuela when I was born. So it was because of a Swedish industrial gases company where my dad was working at the time that sent us to Venezuela. And obviously that changed my life because I grew up in Venezuela, even though I was born in Finland. So that's the first Swedish company that changed my life. Then my first advertising client was Ericsson. And Ericsson, is Swedish as well. And now Brains Magazine, once again, is a Swedish company that has completely changed my life again. So they sent me an email in April 2022. I still don't even know how they found me. They must have found me online somehow. And yeah, that email literally changed my life. So basically they wrote to me and they said that they had seen me and that they were interested in getting to know me more. And then they told me, that there was a possibility of becoming an executive contributor to Brains Magazine. So the first thing that I did was I joined the Facebook group of Brains Magazine, and that's where I saw the post where the publisher, Jenny, she was looking for women who wanted to share their story in a multi-author book. So I applied, and I could feel that I would be picked, and I was right, because I was one of the first to be picked for this book. And she literally, I applied, and the next day she called me, telling me that she had picked me. And I remember that we had a phone call, and we just connected and clicked like right away. Sometimes you just, well, you know what it's like when you click with somebody. It's like boom, you just know that you're meant to be working with this person. So one of the first things that happened with Brains Magazine, so Brains Magazine, I did an interview with them, and then they picked me to be a contributing editor with them. And then right after that had happened, they gave out these Korea Global Awards, right? And they gave out these awards to people that are contributing editors with them, and then many famous people got this award as well, right? So I was one of the people that got this award, and then I got the same award as Richard Branson and Leonardo DiCaprio, which is still pretty surreal to me. This is a screenshot from my new website, But yeah, that's still something, like I feel like I won the Oscar, because yeah, I got the same award as Leo and Richard Branson. So there you go. That's one of the magical things that Brains magazine has brought to me. So when I say that it was literally life changing, this email was literally life changing. And one thing that my dad has always said to me is that your whole life can change in 1 minute, right? In 1 second, in 1 minute, your whole life can change. You meet somebody, you get an opportunity, something happens and your whole life changes. And this email was literally, a life changing moment, because so much has happened because of this one email. It has literally changed my whole life for the better. And in February this year, I was told that my whole life was going to change this year, like for the better, and it really has. Okay, so from April the 10th, 2022 to September the 23rd, 2022, it was 5 months of brainstorming and writing my chapter of 3,000 words. We all had to write 3,000 words for our chapters. And then, of course, it was reviewing the corrections of the editors as well. We had, because Jenny, the publisher, she's very experienced, and she was already an Amazon bestseller. Excuse me. So she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing, and she had a great group. Her team of editors are amazing. When I first got my draft back and it was all marked up, I felt like I was in school, but they were very good. They were very good. I mean, the way that they rewrote everything and edited everything definitely sounded better than what I wrote originally. So if you're writing a book, or you're thinking of writing a book, it's really important to have good editors as well. So this is some of the promo images that we've had for the book. Like it's been like a long. I think that one of the reasons that this book was so successful was because there was a big campaign, a big promotional campaign before it was released, right? It was building up, right? And one of the things that we did was have these promotional images, right? And of course, when you're thinking of writing a book, like I've started writing 2 books that I haven't finished, right? But when you think about writing a book by yourself and publishing a book by yourself, it's completely different doing it by yourself than partnering up or associating yourself with a bigger group and an established, publisher with editors and all of that, right? So I mean, I think that, for being the first book, like I'm really happy that I did it this way. Because I highly doubt that I would have had the same success, doing everything, on my own, right? And without any experience. So this is something that I would recommend to anybody that's thinking of publishing a book. And of course, writing one chapter of 3,000 words is completely different than writing a whole book yourself, right? It's a lot easier to write one chapter of 3,000 words. So yeah, so these are 2 of the promotional images, that we got from the publisher. I really like this one with the coffee cup and the book and the handbag. Anybody that knows me knows that I love my handbags, and then I love the combination of the colors here as well, like the blues, and then the red and the badass, and then here with the plant. Like these are all things, that add, to the presentation and the promotion of the book. All right, so this is another promotional image that we did. So the publisher, she did these again, like promotional material for the book, right? So so this was one of the first things that we got, right? Like we all had contributing author, and then our names, and then a picture. And of course the picture, you had to we had to have like a professional picture for this, right? Like a selfie, you can't get, a selfie is not enough for something like this. So I actually did like a photo shoot with a photographer to get to get this picture. Like it took 200 pictures to get this picture, right? You have to take lots of pictures to get one really, really good one. So then, this was the picture that was the final one. So that was the first promotional image. And then we started advertising and publicizing the release date, right? So here, it was Laura Reinakoski, contributing author, coming the 23rd of September 2022. So I mean, that we started posting that probably like 2 months ago, right? So it was kind of like building up, that it's happening on the 23rd of September. And this is another one. We got like different sizes of the promotional images as well. And then another thing that we did before the release of the book, we did a summit, and we all recorded a video. We all recorded a video for the summit, and I recorded a video about my Breakthrough to Love course, right? So I mean, my Breakthrough to Love course is 6 weeks. So I condensed 6 weeks into 1 hour. So so that was part of the promotion. That was part of the promoting the book, right? Doing the summit, and then people signed up to the summit, and then they watched the videos, and there were handouts, workbooks that were given out in the summit as well. So that was part of the promotion. And then this is all 18 of us. This is all 18 authors together, and this was part of the summit. So advertising all of us, and like I mentioned, most of the authors are in the States, and then there's some 2 are in Australia, and there's 1 in Canada and 1 in South Africa, and then me here in Ireland. So it was a very international, it was a very international effort, and it's great, because all the women, like everybody's story is so different, right? But everyone's story is very different and inspirational in different ways, right? So you can find, there's 18 chapters in this book, so there's a little bit of everything in this book, which is really nice. So then finally, launch day came, which was the 23rd of September, and then this is the banner that we used on launch day. So Quiet and Badass, now available on Amazon. So that was the first banner. That was the first banner of the day, and then we became Amazon bestsellers, and then we got the badge of being Amazon bestsellers. And then we all got like the promo images, of being bestsellers as well. Then this is the whole group, the whole best-selling group. And then this is a screenshot of my chapter. And my chapter is the first one. My chapter is chapter 1. And this is something that I asked for. This is something that I asked for, and I got. And I was actually the first person to hand in the chapter, because I had to hand it in before going on holidays to Finland in the summer. I went to see my family after 2 years. So the deadline was while I was in Finland, so I had to write my chapter before going to Finland. And I actually wrote the chapter really fast. I mean, I had been thinking about it for a long time, but I actually wrote it all like in one sitting. I wrote 3,000 words in 3 hours. So it flowed really nicely. So my chapter is called Unstoppable Citizen of the World. And then here, actually, my sister told me, this is something that I didn't even know. My sister told me that in Amazon, before buying the book, you can actually read a part of my chapter, before buying the book. So in a way, it's like my chapter is like selling the book in a way, right? Because you kind of see a preview of the book before you buy it. So here, this is like the first thing that I wrote. We all had to write about what it means to be a badass for us, right? So this is what I wrote. The choices of our lives. I talk a lot about the choices, that we make in our lives, and it's not about what happens to you. It's about what you choose to do with what has happened to you, or how you see it, right? So when I think of the word badass, I conjure the image of a person who has been through a lot in life, but has never given up. To me, a badass makes the conscious choice to use their experiences for learning, not only to improve their own life, but the lives of others as well. This word also makes me think about my grandparents who survived wars in Finland against incredible odds. So yeah, so I talk about, I talk about the history of like Finland and my family as well. And one thing that I mentioned in the book is in Finland there's a word that's called sisu. And sisu means this incredible inner strength and determination that you have against all odds, right? And this is a very Finnish concept, because Finland has a tough history. A lot of wars have been fought in Finland, and Finland also has a very tough winter as well. So Finnish people are very strong and very resilient, and they have this Finnish sisu. So I talk about the Finnish sisu, and even though I was born in Finland and I've never lived in Finland, but my roots are Finnish, my family's Finnish, so I definitely have this Finnish sisu, which has helped me overcome incredibly challenging situations in my life, which I write about in this book, in this chapter. So that's a screenshot of the first page of my chapter, and now this is a screenshot of the last page of my chapter, and this is this is my biography. So yeah, this is my biography. You guys all know me, so you know what my biography is. So yeah, and it's the same thing with all the authors, And then here, yeah, this is the rest of my biography. And then we have a link. We have this Linktree link, and this link takes the takes the people, the readers. It takes it. It has my website and my email and my YouTube channel and everything in this Linktree, link here. So you can order it on Amazon now for just 99 cents for a limited time. The 99 cents was a special price for the launch day, and it's continuing now for a limited time. And then the price will go up afterwards. And we actually have 3 separate launches for this book. Now on the 23rd of September, it was the Amazon launch, and then we're gonna have a paperback launch as well. That's probably gonna be like in a month. And then I'm gonna get physical copies of the book, and do like an in-person book event here in Dublin. So you're all invited to that whenever that happens. I think that's gonna be like around November. It's probably gonna be like around November, December, like right in time for Christmas, so you can buy copies of the books and give them as Christmas gifts. So thank you. I hope my story about becoming a published author and an Amazon bestseller on the same day inspires you to dream big. I offer coaching sessions in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. You can get in touch with me if you would like a session at lauracoaching@gmail.com. My website is laurarenenkoski.com, and I'm really excited because my website has just been updated. And I love the new look of my website. And now I have it in English and Spanish. The Spanish version is new, so I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that. And then my Wake Up to Your True Potential YouTube series. The link is there. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. So I will stop sharing. I will stop sharing and stop the recording.